Hello and welcome to Arizona Cat's Eye. I'm Jack Cooper.
And I'm Carla Lito. Arizona Cat's Eye is a student-produced news broadcast from the University of Arizona School of Journalism.
We bring you stories from Southern Arizona and the University of Arizona.
Prop 205, the Sanctuary City Initiative, was easily defeated in the 2019 city election. The People's Defense Initiative, the PDI, the organization behind Prop 205, garnered 180,000 votes to get it on this year's ballot. In the week before the election, the PDI accused city leaders of trying to sway the outcome. This led to a lawsuit against city officials. Steve Kozachik, Ward 6 council member, was named in the lawsuit. He says he did not tell voters to pick a side and was interested only in educating voters.
We would have heard our funding sources. We would have been sued in a nanosecond by the state legislature and would have lost that 10 times out of 10 with the Ducey-packed state Supreme Court.
If Prop 205 had passed, it would have made Tucson the first city in the state to become a sanctuary city.
2 high-rise buildings are changing the face of the historic 4th Avenue districts. The apartments are set to be done in the next 2 to 3 years. Some local businesses are wary of the new buildings, saying it may change the face of the historic avenue. But Fred Ronstadt, Executive Director, 4th Avenue Merchants Association, believes the new apartments will bring more commerce to local businesses.
The University of Arizona is taking new initiatives to prevent sexual assaults. Arizona Cat's Eye reporter Ashley Freedy is here with more.
Last year, the UA faced a federal lawsuit regarding allegations that it mishandled implementation of Title IX. The lawsuit led to an investigation of 16 student athletes and athletic department staffers. The UA has since hired a new Title IX director and invested in new programs focused on sexual violence. Despite the Title IX infraction, UAPD's annual Clery report found an overall decrease the past few years in sexual offenses, including rape, fondling, and statutory rape. The total shifted from 27 reported incidents in 2016 to 25 in 2017 to 19 in 2018. The department have not yet released any numbers for 2019, but according to their crime map, there have been 14 incidents on and nearby campus in the past 6 months. UAPD officer Jesus Aguilar says the decrease in numbers could be from programs targeted at incoming students.
We try to promote every year, especially with those new incoming freshmen, educating them about sexual assault, about being safe when they're in those social settings. So I think that could be one of those things that's potentially affecting those numbers.
Marnie Geoff, who was a freshman last year, says she wasn't aware of the potential risks she faced.
I personally don't know anything that's going on to fix it, and I didn't even know that statistic until you just told me it.
Freshmen are particularly vulnerable, according to Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, or RAIN. More than 50% of sexual violence occurs between August and November, a period called the red zone. RAIN also found that freshman women were at a greater risk. That's where Elise Lopez, the director of the Gender-Based Violence Consortium, comes in. The consortium has introduced a program targeted at female freshmen called Enhanced Assess Acknowledge Act, or EAAA.
The EAAA program provides young women with a pretty comprehensive education in understanding what risk looks like for male acquaintances. Most sexual assaults are perpetrated against women by men that they know. It's not a serial rapist popping out of the bushes who's a stranger. And yet, women are socialized to believe that the highest risk time for them to be raped is walking alone at night or in a parking lot.
In addition to the EAAA program, the Gender-Based Violence Consortium is participating in the Arizona Safer Bar Alliance, shifting from prevention regarding freshmen to upperclassmen. The Hotel Congress is one of the bars that participate in the Arizona Safer Bars Alliance. Emily Wallace, a bartender at the Hotel Congress, participates in the training annually.
To interact with people with impaired judgment, we need to be able to identify situations that could put people in danger, sexual danger, physical danger, emotional danger, and this type of training is a really, really helpful tool to use to visually identify those types of situations in which maybe somebody feels uncomfortable and like maybe you need to intervene a little bit, or hey, maybe that girl's way too drunk and she's slumped in the corner and we need to find a way to take care of her and get her a safe ride home.
The university and the Gender-Based Violence Consortium will continue their partnership in an effort to protect and educate students. For Arizona Cat's Eye, I'm Ashley Freedy.
The number of underage drinking cases the UAPD investigated this past year increased, according to the 2019 annual Campus Safety Report. The report says there were more than 470 liquor law violations in 2017. In 2018, the number jumped to more than 620 violations, with more than half of them at residential facilities. The Dean of Students created a diversion program for students found violating liquor laws on campus. The program includes alcohol awareness training and mandatory counseling. The purpose is for students to go through the program instead of facing criminal charges.
It didn't seem like they were trying to get to the core of like my own problems or how they could actually support me, even specifically in my alcohol-based infractions. It was more like they were just trying to check off as many boxes as they could.
Successful completion of the program will erase charges to a student's criminal record.
Homelessness is a major issue in Tucson, but one shelter is going above and beyond with what it means to give back. Gospel Rescue Mission Tucson offers 150 emergency beds and 3 meals a day to the homeless. The shelter also provides services such as drug and alcohol rehabilitation in hopes of getting people back on their feet. The Gospel Rescue Mission is run by donations and community volunteers.
The University of Arizona Journalism Department named Christiane Amanpour this year's recipient of the 2019 Zanger Award for Press Freedom. The CNN international correspondent accepted the award at a ceremony with UA President Robert Robbins, followed by a luncheon with journalism students and faculty. Amanpour is known for her uncompromising reporting that has made her popular with viewers.
When she covers a story, you know why it's important, you know what it feels like, you know the larger issues, and you know what might happen next.
Currently, Amanpour hosts a daily global affairs program on CNN International and PBS. When we come back, new results from the CDC could identify the cause of recent vaping-related deaths.
Plus, a controversial study taking place at the UA. We'll have all that and more after the break.
Arizona Cat's Eye is the final class that journalism students at the University of Arizona take for the broadcast specialization. Students gain skills in broadcast writing, reporting, shooting, interviewing, and producing. These skills are beneficial for a career in journalism and beyond. Students produce, film, and edit their own news packages in this class. Each package consists of interviews related to a topic, video footage, and a stand-up of the reporter. At the end of the semester, the class comes together to select the best stories and create a show. Each show has an executive producer, editors, producers, and promo producers. We are excited to see what the students do with these skills that they have gained from Arizona Cat's Eye.
Since November, there have been 42 vaping-related deaths according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Vaping-related illnesses continue to rise nationwide, and some states have declared emergency bans on vaping products.
The CDC just announced an ingredient that may be causing the illnesses and deaths. Arizona Cat's Eye reporter Kate Jaeger has more.
The number of teenagers vaping nicotine has doubled in the past 2 years.
The CDC says that more than half of the total 530 patients diagnosed with this illness have been under the age of 25.
People working in the industry suggest that it's not only the teenagers' responsibility to stop.
A lot of people tend to fall on us for the responsibility of underage vapors, but you really need to look to the parents because they're the ones that are supposed to be parenting these children.
Officials believe that the key culprit in the outbreak is vitamin E acetate. It could damage the lungs, airways, and blood vessels. But much like tobacco users, despite the dangers, some users are not ready to quit.
I mean, it's definitely kind of alarming, but it hasn't really made me cut back at all.
Though these allegations have swarmed the media recently, people working in the industry still do not think it's enough to get it off the shelves.
I do think it's like a billion-dollar industry, and I think that it would be very hard to ban right now, just because, I mean, so many people are using it.
Tucson City Council is considering raising the age of nicotine and tobacco delivery products to 21, but some believe it may not be as beneficial in the long run.
I think if they increased it to 21, that would be good, but then at the same time, people can still get it off the market. Like black market, people can buy it. It's just kind of a sketchy thing to deal with.
The CDC identified that illegal or black market THC products are largely fueling the outbreak. For now, they are warning users to stop using the products altogether. For Arizona Cat's Eye, I'm Kate Jager.
A new program from Healthy Babies Bright Futures is fighting to reduce newborns' exposure to toxic chemicals in their food. In a recent study, they found babies may be exposed to trace amounts of heavy metals in their food during the first stages of development. These metals include arsenic, lead, mercury, and cadmium. But an Arizona mother suggests an alternative to processed baby foods.
Baby-led weaning is basically not using baby food, and you're going from milk or breast milk or formula to food. So you're skipping all the purees, and you're basically giving babies small, like mushy food like squash or oatmeal. And it's been said, or from what I've learned, is that it'll help babies go to eating normal food and less picky.
Cannabis researchers from across the globe met at the University of Arizona for the school's first ever cannabis symposium in late September. Retired UA professor Raphael Gruner organized the inaugural cannabis symposium. The event focused on evidence-based research on medical cannabis, opening the door for university research on the subject. Gruner says that it's very likely that many universities will be able to grow and study marijuana for research purposes in the near future.
Heart health is the leading cause of death among women in the United States, but 2 local organizations are working to change that. University of Arizona sorority Alpha Phi has made a commitment to fighting heart disease among women. The sorority hosts their annual fundraising event, the Red Dress Gala, and the proceeds go to Sarver Heart Center at Banner University Medical Center in Tucson.
And I think that it's really special that the sorority recognizes how important this disease is to not only the people in Tucson, but people throughout this country and the world. And it's really nice that they care enough to help get the word out, increase awareness, so that we can get better treatment for women across the U.S.
A UA professor is leading a study on cell phone dependency and its effects on people with depression and anxiety. University of Arizona professor Matthew LaPierre conducted the study along with graduate students to identify the dangers of cell phone usage and its effect on mental health. LaPierre sent an online survey to UA students. The results showed that many believe they are dependent on their devices because of social media.
I think the evidence shows that people, are wrapped up in their devices, and then that later has some effects, down the road. That it might be that they turn away from others, and so they realize oh, I'm in the spiral here.
When we come back, the one high-rise apartment on campus that didn't rise to the top.
And there's a new bird driving around town. We get an inside look at its impact on Tucson.
Every semester, the journalism school puts on an event called Pizza and Portfolios. Renee Schaefer Horton sets up the event where students can bring resumes, reels, cover letters, and whatever else they have to get looked at by professors from the School of Journalism. There's also a panel of current and former students who talk about how they got jobs or internships during college. There is free food and drinks, and anyone in the School of Journalism is welcome to attend. With the rise of student enrollment at the UA comes a bigger demand for student housing.
However, one high-rise didn't aspire to the top. Aspire Tucson, the newest apartment complex near the UA, had not completed construction by the time students were set to arrive, allowing some students to move in before school while leaving others homeless. Students on floors 9 and 10 had their move-in dates pushed back by at least 2 weeks. Despite the delay, construction continued with students already living in the building.
I called them and I asked, I heard there's rumors that the building is going to be ready. I'm trying to confirm that I can move in on the 16th. And the girl at the front desk was like, of course you can. That's very much a rumor. Please shut that down. And I was like, okay, great. Didn't think about it. And then here we are a couple weeks later. So they were completely true.
Residents were compensated up to $300 a day for every day their move-in was delayed. There has been no final date to when all the apartments will be ready, but construction has been ongoing into November.
The UA is taking action to lower its carbon footprint after global emissions hit a record high last year. They have started a 100% clean energy project with Tucson Electric Power.
Demand. When organizations like the University of Arizona are demanding renewable energy, then the utilities will meet them. And I think in the past, it's been the case that the most profitable course of action for many utilities has been fossil fuel plants.
The university expects its greenhouse emissions to be offset by December of 2020.
E-scooters have been roaming the streets of Tucson for the past 2 months. City officials announced in July that the companies Bird and Razor would take part in the trial program. The scooters can reach all over the city, with a few exceptions. The University of Arizona is considered a dead zone where the scooters automatically shut off due to safety and accessibility concerns. Throughout the next 4 months, city officials will continue to conduct evaluations to see if the scooters are helping the needs of the community and whether to make the scooters permanent.
A new report shows Arizona is the second deadliest state per capita for pedestrians. According to the Governor's Highway Safety Association, between 2008 to 2017, pedestrian fatalities in Tucson increased by 35%. The city of Tucson reports that more than 30 pedestrians have died this year. The Department of Transportation is currently planning a new way to make streets safer and accessible for pedestrians.
There's a program that has been at the university for over 25 years that not many students may know about. UA Presents features performances from artists all over the world, mostly at Centennial Hall. They have had struggles with trying to get students to attend these performances. Executive Director Chad Herzog has ideas on how to make the program more appealing for students.
We'll be bringing artists into classrooms, residence halls, apartment complexes, into places and around places where you may not experience arts, but more importantly, we'll be bringing art to you as a student.
Herzog hopes that he can bring growth and positive change to this organization.
The city of Tucson is beginning to implement its Bicycle Boulevard Master Plan. The project, passed in 2018 under Proposition 407, will use neighborhood streets to expand bike lanes. The goal is to provide safer places for the community to walk and bike. Michigan Street, Fair Street, Cherry Avenue, and Greenway Drive are expected to use the master plan next year.
Next, new gift boxes for women created right here in Tucson and the touching reason why it was started.
And later, can a pet really improve your life? We take a look at how your favorite four-legged friend can benefit your health.
The University of Arizona's School of Journalism is committed to helping prepare students to succeed after college. Professor Susan Knight has some advice for aspiring journalists.
If you don't look around you in the world and have questions about what's going on and why it's going on, you're just not going to make it as a journalist.
Professor Mike McKisson believes the journalism school is preparing students for any career.
One of the things I think we do really well in this program is teach our students to spot BS and be able to fact check and research and then communicate that information clearly. You're going to be golden in so many different careers.
A subscription box company is helping young girls learn about influential women through hands-on activities. This company, called Girls Can Create, was started right here in Tucson by Megan Goodman and her sister, Kristen Stoner. Goodman started the company to introduce her daughter to inspirational female figures throughout history.
Also know how to take care of yourself, and that there are just a lot more role models out there that I feel like are more important for you to learn about, and things that I want you to exemplify as you get older. And so I kind of started to look into what kind of products I could get for her, or books I could get for her, and there wasn't really a lot out there.
Stoner and Goodman hope to expand Girls Can Create in the future to women and even boys.
A local Facebook group is leaving kindness wherever they go. The group, called Hide Tucson Rocks, paints encouraging messages on rocks and leaves them for others to find. The group aims to bring unexpected hope and happiness to anyone who may need it. So whenever you go to your favorite Tucson spot, be on the lookout for a random rock of kindness.
The term "a man's best friend" might actually have some scientific proof behind it.
Reporter Kate Jaeger tells us how relationships with animals can benefit our mental health.
Kelsey John is a postdoctoral research associate at the University of Arizona and focuses her work on animal relationships.
We're supposed to be in relationship with animals, and so that is a good thing. And so I think building that relationship with another living creature is very powerful.
Kelsey spoke about her studies at the SBS Downtown Lecture Series Thursday night and how this bond has existed for thousands of years. Much like Kelsey's presentation today, many people find day to day that their animal has a positive impact on their overall health. Keely Gibbs, a senior at the UA, was struggling with her mental health until her psychiatrist suggested getting an animal support dog. She adopted May in September of this year.
She has really helped me to kind of stay on a schedule. I've improved on my moods a lot. I have a really bad tendency to procrastinate, and with her, she's helped like my time management.
Roommate Casey Adrian says the changes she has seen in Keely have been close to remarkable.
She gets up super early and her mood changed completely. She's way happier, more talkative.
If interested in making your furry friend an emotional support animal, you can register at esaregistration.org. For Arizona Cat's Eye, I'm Kate Jager.
And that's all for this edition of Arizona Cat's Eye, a news program produced by the University of Arizona School of Journalism. I'm Jack Hooper.
And I'm Carla Lito. Thanks for watching.